Good morning, traders. Hope you guys had a good week. Uh, I actually tripled my account yesterday, so I'm ecstatic. One of my accounts I tripled yesterday. I was like, wow. So I did a short on the SPY yesterday, and I got 300%. It actually went to over 500%. So I was a little upset about missing it, but that's the way it goes. So, some takeaways we got going on here today, guys. So we're almost completely flat on the week on the Nasdaq here. Get heads up on that. We closed right about here, so we're on virtually completely flat on the Nasdaq, right below the daily 20 SMA. Okay, guys. So right into a major test area here, trying to go bullish on the week, potentially going bullish on the week on the Nasdaq. Okay, so be very mindful of that. Some clear standouts that I've got going on here on my analysis. We clearly have some inverse head and shoulders developing here. And what really makes that, helps quantify that inverse head and shoulders is how the head, we still got a gap down here that did not get filled. That is typical for an inverse head and shoulders and a bullish market trend to leave this head area behind unfilled. So, it's a bullish pattern, in my opinion, going into today's setup. Some things that we got going on here structurally in this market. If you look at here, this up here is the all-time near the all-time highs trading range. Okay, and uh, we broke that down Friday. Okay, so Nasdaq after Oracle led the way, led the charge to a breakdown. Okay, and then Monday we continued the breakdown into another tier lower here. Okay, guys, and so basically we came right down into this area here. This is our next tier. Okay, and we've been digesting down here with building out an inverse head and shoulders below this tier here. Now the S&Ps, uh, the big breakdown here was right here. Okay, so this all up here is just one tier breakdown instead of two tiers, in my opinion. Okay, so this right here. Okay, and you see how the S&Ps Friday's close were up here, and the S&Ps are way down here. Okay, so the S&Ps versus Friday are showing some relative weakness, and this is in large part due to the fact uh, the breakdown started last Friday, last week, and we are seeing some relative strength here in the S and the Qs today or this week, and potentially trying to repair structure, possibly going possibly going bullish on from the weekly closes today. So be very mindful of that, and we'll see how that all plays out going forward here. Okay. Other things I want to point out here. Remember, guys, we closed Friday in a very bad way, but they still were predicting a potential move back up to 626 on the Qs, and our structure might be turning bullish here on the Qs today. So be very mindful here. If we were to rally all the way to 626, that should not be a surprise. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but 626 should be in the back of your mind. And if you're doing your risk rewards, guys, I mean it's pretty, you know, it's something to definitely think about in the back of your mind here. If we start crossing over the 20 here, we're coming into today, you know, this should be your risk. I mean, a potential scenario breaking over the 20, we could all possibly go all the way to 26, 26 on your risk reward analysis for an inverse head and shoulders breakout. Okay, so be very mindful of that. Uh, uh, you would have to, so this right here would be your risk area right here, in my opinion. If you were to early on this morning initialize a long, you know, basically you're wanting to hold this area down here around the 612. That's your risky area, looking for an ultimate move back up to the 626, in my opinion, here on the Qs. Similar situation over here on the S&Ps. You have to zoom a little bit differently here. Let me here. Got to get that off there. Wait a minute. Clear. Um, okay, guys. The market maker move is 692 on the S&Ps, guys. So, similar situation here. We have to assume we should anticipate a potential move on to 692 on an inverse head and shoulders breakout if that were to happen. We're a long ways from that. You still got to clear the 20 SMA. There's still a lot here that you would have to clear out to make that a meaningful scenario. Okay, but something to think about. Um, you could actually even draw this, clear that out again. I mean, you could actually, if you're just really wanting to buy something, and let that let that be your reward scenario, and your risk would be anything below your daily 20 SMA. Okay, anything below your 20 SMA. Uh, so basically, you want to see the right below, the 678 area. You want the 678 area to become hard, solid support today, going into the 20 SMA. But you have to make these daily 20 SMAs into new support early on in today's session. So just be very mindful of that. Just because we got the characteristics of an inverse head and shoulders does not mean that's going to play out. Okay. Okay, as far as structure goes on some of the broader charts here, give me a second here. Okay, I was looking at AMD this morning. It had just got completely battered Wednesday, so this is a late mover to this move. So this is one of my top watches, being a late mover to the downside. So on the Nasdaq. So we're seeing some structural improvements in the Nasdaq. One of the last ones to come down was AMD. We are holding this line right here. It's the 203.60. Okay, so this is our regression line on the downtrend. That's our anchor point right there. So this is very important. If we start holding above the 603.60, I mean, this is technically building out some bullish structure for the open this morning. So this is going to be one of my top watches, considering this was a late mover to the downside. AMD potential top watch this morning. Other things I'm looking at, I looked at Apple yesterday. Apple acting as resistance. So this is our regression line. This here is our resistance, still acting as resistance. So this is technically still bear flagging early on this morning. Heads up on that. Microsoft's pretty much in a box. Has been in a box for a while here. I don't have that drawn out right. I'm sorry. Not something I want to play. Microsoft, I'm just staying away from that one. Amazon. XLY has not even participated at all in the sell-off period. So we started yesterday. We came up, broke out above this range, and we're not seeing much of any uh, pullback at all this morning. So heads up on that. Bullish structure. Uh, bottom line is, a similar situation. If this right here. Okay, what are we doing here? We're wanting to see this become our new trading zone here, guys. So we're wanting to see this become new support and become our new trading zone with Amazon. You know your risk reward. If you start losing, I can't see what that is. 220, 227.80 or something like that. We start losing 227.80, then this idea wouldn't work. But bottom line is we want this to become new support for a risk reward payoff all the way to 231. Heads up on that. Bullish structure, you know, you buy the support for expecting it to possibly hold today. Heads up on that. That would be my structure on that. Okay, guys. Google. Oh, come on. Why is this messing up? Okay, guys. There we go. Google. Some things happening here on Google, guys. So we're below this structure right here. This was a late Wednesday breakdown, but it is still below this structure. That's our anchor point right there on this breakdown to this move. It looks like it needs more time to make for a potential reversion to the upside. So heads up on Google there. Could very well easily just come right back up, into this resistance today. But this is a bear flag until proven otherwise, in my opinion. So below this right here, the 307, you have to lean resistance is a short until proven otherwise on Google. Okay, guys. Other things, NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been acting very weak this week. Wednesday sell down, late to the party here. Okay, guys. Some things that are happening here. This actually should be red. We're trading above this, showing some relative strength from yesterday. Heads up on that. Uh, this here is the risk reward. A lot of this is already moved, in my opinion, off of this support down here, and we got another resistance up here at 178.52. So we're not going to really be in any type of major blue skies territory. And we're below the monthly 5 SMA, the 5 MAs. So this dark green here, this is where your monthly 5 SMA and EMA, you're trading below those here on the NVIDIA. So be very mindful of that. The bigger time frame on the monthly is still broken, and we want to be cognizant of that. That NVIDIA is a broken structure. Okay, guys. Uh, just having a mental block here. What other ones am I? Meta. Oh, Meta. See, we're below that 5. The the monthly 5, EMA and SMA. So structure is broken on the biggest time frame. So be very mindful of that. Could very well come back up here, do a back test, and fail on that monthly 5 SMA. So be very mindful of that going forward here on Meta. I did some others too. Give me a second here. Tesla is actually opening in blue skies territory. So be very mindful of that. Tesla is up here in blue skies territory. Good chance we could very well be revisiting the 493. Uh, Bottom line is we have to hold above the 484.90 area. As long as we're holding above the 484.90, it's all good. So be very mindful of that going forward here. We have to be very mindful. Another thing you can do on your charts, guys, to make it easier to, if you're trying to predict a negative, hey, is this thing topping out or not? You can always type in negative Tesla, and then that'll give you the inverse. I've done that as well. So bottom line is, look at what we're going on here. This is this is a the inverse Tesla. This is a falling knife. Obviously, we couldn't even come back up and back test uh, resistance on this chart. Okay, so be very mindful that you know uh, don't come in here thinking, oh, Tesla's going to reverse on us, and but that can help you sometimes, especially if you're drawing with regression lines, to put the negative chart up to help you to draw out support and resistances. Uh, for if you're trying to look for the contrarian trade. FedEx reported last night, initially gapped up. We're seeing some slippage this morning. So, the bottom line is 487.75 or 287.75. If we were to rally back up to that, that is likely resistance today. We'd be looking to short that resistance in today's session on FedEx. So basically, utilities have been rallying, waiting for this FedEx news announcement today. So we could actually see an underperform in the transports, not utilities, transports. Uh, See an underperform in the transports today. Just be very mindful of that. We potentially losing uh, support early on this morning on FedEx. OWM guys, we had our post the Japanese rate decision, which came in line with expectations. So be very mindful of this one here. We're kind of trading between two ranges here on IWM. I don't see anything that I personally want to trade. Um, but it is actually, we're building higher versus this trading range. So be very mindful of that. So basically, ideally, I would have been wanting to buy. Ah, damn it! I'll clear that way, Matt. I would have been wanting to buy range low there, which we didn't even get down to it on that one. So get heads up on that. I got that up a little bit too high. Okay, guys. Bring that down a little bit here. There you go. So we're potentially breaking out of this range right here this morning. So a back test of that, I would say, would be a potential buyable dip until proven otherwise. So, I would typically gaps get filled on IWM, so I would be looking to see if we get that gap fill this morning and potentially maybe looking to the long side as long as we're holding that red line there for a break above this rectangle in today's trading session on IWM. Uh, Other really important things that I'm watching here, SMH holding above a very critical support area this morning. This is actually a buyable, this is where you should be looking to buy SMH if it can hold this level right here on SMH. You would be looking to the long side, so be mindful of that. Another thing, earlier on this week, we had a breakout in IWM and XLF. IWM actually lost it, but XLF is continuing to hold the breakout. So be very mindful of this. All-time high breakouts, XLF, it is holding support this morning. This is also a buyable dip this morning on XLF. And to finally finish this off here, this is the highest trading zone ever for RSP. This right here is our support. We're currently trading right at or above that support on RSP. So even our equal weight S&P at 500, it is trying to defend the highest distribution zone or trading zone in the history of the stock market. So be very mindful of that. You're coming in this morning. This right here is the highest ever trading zone. We just did a back test on the equal weight S&P 500, and we potentially could be moving to the upside. Another warning to the bears out there, guys. I mean, I do want to point out we're only 2 days into the new contracts on the VX futures, and I want to point out right here, guys, right here, we're already testing the breakout point on the VX futures. So, it's support until proven otherwise, but I would be watching for us to lose the 18 on the VX futures this morning for the bullish case. So this would be one of my top watches to see if the VX futures are going to lose 18 early on in the session. Okay, guys, as obviously you can tell that I'm a little bit bullish here, and so good luck. And I'm probably going to lean to the bullish side if the setup presents itself. And I will see you in the trading rooms.